What's up, y'all, and welcome to my final video of the season from the Fire Lookout. Can't believe I'm saying that the season's already come to an end, but yeah, we're going to be closing the Fire Lookout tomorrow, and I'm going to be hitting the road. This season has really flown by, and I think it's mainly because of two reasons. The first I'd say is just exercising, being present more than I ever really have. Taking time just to enjoy all the small things. The birds flying over the valleys, the wind blowing through the trees, the amazing colors of each and every sunset. I think when you're being present, you kind of just enter this timeless space where there's no past, there's no future, there's just now. And if you take a lot of moments like that, when you kind of look back, time has really flown by. And I'd say the other main reason that this season has flown by has just been because of how busy everything's been. I think in total in our district this season we had about 26 or 27 incidents or fires, which is by far the most we have ever had. I think cumulatively, my first 3 years here, we probably had the same amount. So yeah, we had a very busy season of lots of lightning, lots of hot and dry weather, lots of new smokes and crazy wildfire behavior. And so it's just been go, 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 looking for smokes, looking for this, looking for that, watching the fires grow, communicating with the fire crews. There's just been a whole lot going on, and I think that also contributed to my feeling like this season has really flown by. I will say honestly, this is the most ready I've ever been to leave the Fire Lookout for the season. As much as I've enjoyed it and loved it, I think just with the busyness of the season and also how productive I've been up here, I'm kind of just mentally tired and ready for a break and a change of pace. Some of you have commented and asked, if I'm all right, because you've noticed I've lost weight. But yeah, that was part of the plan. I've lost about 40 pounds in total this year. Something just kind of finally clicked in me and I locked in, and I've been eating really healthy. But yeah, I'd say eating at a 700 to 1,000 calorie deficit 6 days a week for 3 months out here has taken a bit of a toll on me mentally. Not physically. Physically, I feel great, but my body let me know a few days ago that it's ready for a break. It needs to eat more. So I'm kind of just entering a new phase, physically, mentally, all these things. And I definitely say also that just the amount of fire activity we had has just made me a little mentally tired. When I'm up here, I constantly hold this mild anxiety in the back of my mind of missing a smoke or a fire and someone else seeing it and wondering why I didn't catch it first. It's kind of a thing I think probably every fire lookout carries in the back of their mind. That's what keeps them vigilant and keeps us good at finding the fires first, but it will be nice not having to carry that in the back of my mind every day as well. But don't get me wrong, I still absolutely love it out here. And honestly, I'm already looking forward to next season. I just need a little quick break, but this is my favorite time of year, hands down, up here, and maybe anywhere really. We spend the month of August with smoky skies and fires burning everywhere. Everything's just brown and beige and smoky, and you can't see very well, you can't breathe very well. And everyone's just waiting until September for the weather to finally shift, for the days to get shorter, for fire weather to decrease. And usually what happens, what happens every time, is that we get this really nice, long, wetting rain. It just rains for a day or multiple if I'm lucky. I get fogged in, I can't see anything. And then after a day or two, the fog finally lifts, and it's like a brand new valley. You can see the far mountains again. You can see individual trees on the ridge tops. The sky is like this deep blue that you've forgotten because the atmosphere has been brown for so long with smoke. There's a chill in the air. The elks start to bugle. You see grouse everywhere. The huckleberries start turning red. The false huckleberries start turning gold. It's just an incredible time of year out here. And it's just the absolute best, especially after being blanketed with smoke for weeks at a time. And so I've just been really doing my best to soak it all in. These are days that I will carry with me the rest of my life without a doubt. I will always remember these fall weeks up here at the end of the season, and it's always made more sweet with the knowledge that I'll be leaving soon. I think I've really enjoyed the past few days up here, maybe more than any of this season, because of that knowledge, because I know that I'm going to leave. I'm going to be surrounded by cities and buildings, and part of me looks forward to that, but I know I'm going to get sick of it pretty quick, and I'll start itching to get back out here. So yeah, it's just been a really, really sweet and enjoyable time up here. No more fire activity. If there is lightning, it's not going to do anything because the forest is wet and cool. And also, the stars the past few nights have been absolutely jaw-dropping. Growing up in the city, I was lucky if I could even see any stars. I always knew the Big Dipper, but that was about it. And so since I've been coming out here year after year, I've been learning more constellations, more stars, and these are the most that I've ever been able to identify. And they're so bright out here. And I spent the other evening just sitting here on these rocks watching the sunset first. But then after the sun went down, I sat and just waited and watched as the stars appeared one by one. First I saw Arcturus, and then I saw Vega and Altair, and eventually Deneb, and then all of a sudden the stars just started popping out like crazy until I could see the entire Milky Way just stretching across the night sky and the stars everywhere. I even saw the International Space Station that night as well, which is always a treat. I never really know when it's going to pass over me. But yeah, it's just been a really, really good few weeks. Really been enjoying it. And while I am ready to head out, I know that the moment I leave, I will miss this place dearly. And I will be thinking about it for quite some time until I can come back. But yeah, that's just the way it goes, There's seasons on the earth. Things aren't always meant to stay the same. We have the summer months and then eventually the winter, but the winter just makes us appreciate what we have in the summer that much more. And that's what I'm feeling right now. I know that if I were up here year round and it was always summer, I would take it for granted. I wouldn't appreciate, these insane views that I get to wake up to every morning. It's only when you leave that you can really appreciate somewhere. And I always tell the fire crew that they have no idea what they're missing because they live down in the valley. I feel like down there you miss 90% of the beauty of this place because they don't get to see the sunsets. They don't get to look at the mountains all day. They don't get to see the stars or the northern lights when they happen, or when there's thunderstorms, seeing lightning coming down and striking the ridge tops, or even a wildfire blowing up and the column of smoke in the sky. They don't see the rainbows. They don't see so much of what's out here to really see and enjoy. And I literally get paid to live here and look at it. Like that's the dream right there. And I really get to live it. It's really the honor and privilege of my life to be able to do this each summer, to be able to live out here and look at these mountains and just be in the forest. I absolutely love it, and I already can't wait for next year. But for now, I'm also ready to go on the county quest, to visit a whole bunch of new counties and new national parks and forests, visit old friends, to see family, to eat a little bit more restaurant food, and yeah, just to have a nice winter with my family and friends. And thank you also for just watching these. This is something new I'm trying this year, and something that I knew wouldn't get a very large audience compared to my shorts, but it's something that I really care about and really enjoy doing, and just being able to share my thoughts with y'all. And so I really appreciate each and every one of you who watches and lets me know what you think about these. It's not really about engagement or virality or anything like that. It's simply about connection for me, and being able to share much more clearly and freely who I am. So, as always, please let me know what you think. Any thoughts that you want to share. This is still, a very fresh and new thing. It's definitely not set in its ways whatsoever. Could always change. I could always make videos about different things as well. Just kind of want it to be a collaboration between us. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the road. And as always, I've included a time lapse of the sunset if you made it all the way to the end. And also, if you're interested, I'm sending out my monthly newsletter soon. It's by far my favorite creative endeavor that I started this year, and in my opinion, they keep getting better and better. So if you'd like to receive that, you can sign up in the link in the description. Okay, bye.